This is the continuation of a video from my main channel, so you may want to watch that first before watching this. If not, I'll give a very brief synopsis of the main points from that we're continuing with. And that is how repeated remembering of trauma causes us neurological damage, and how that damage can be corrected by meditation, or even simply by doing what I'm doing right now, just sitting here under the Miracle Sisters chestnut tree, waiting for chestnuts to fall, because it's that time of year. Now, I want to get deep into the harm that's coming from that repetition of remembering trauma. Because since I read that paper that was recently published from a different part of the world, where academic freedom is still a thing, that was the sound of an acorn falling. A chestnut falling is not that loud, if you could hear that. Since I read that, I've been seeing how it applied to different parts of my life, which is what I talked about in that other video from the main channel, but also how it impacted on people that I know and continues to do so right now. And this is what I want to get into with a specific example. And it's my touchstone for many of these sorts of things. It's the suicide almost 12 years ago of my former music partner and brother from another mother, Massimo. I came to realize, how can it be that there's still a mosquito in October? How can that be? And it has arrived just in time. Oh well. I came to realize that, 3 chestnuts just fell, but they were the sterile little ones. Let's hope that a bigger one falls. Episodes that I experienced with him that he did he never recovered from, haunted him until he killed himself. And I'm going to talk about one of them now that's a little controversial. I won't name names, but for those of you who know of my musical history, you'll know what I'm talking about without me naming it. The most successful song I ever produced has a lot of controversy surrounding it. And Massimo was there. He participated, not very much, but a little bit, in the production of it. But he was, I think I might have just got that mosquito. He was not recognized for his efforts. In fact, technically neither was I. And there's a continuing campaign right now, it seems, to erase a lot of my musical history for some reason. Perhaps it's just the way things go in the world today. I don't care. That's why I'm still here. None of that bothers me. Zen permitted me to outgrow such things. That's what I want to share with you. But I saw how it affected him, all of his loved ones. In fact, even his not so loved ones. I don't think he was very private about it, especially in the last few months before he killed himself. He was doing a lot of interviews, on radio especially. And I think he was talking pretty candidly about his feelings about what happened. Now, I'm not going to say that there was no wrongdoing. There was, for both of us. But that's not what this is about. It's not about blaming or remembering or reliving the trauma. It's the opposite of that. You see, because he was continuously repeating that memory, it was like Groundhog Day, that movie. He couldn't let it go. He had this vision in his mind of how things should have went, and the life that he should have been living if he wouldn't have been ripped off and had his credit stolen. However minor that credit was. But it did exist. He did play a part. He should have got some credit. But he couldn't let it go. And he was so obsessed. That's the word. He was so obsessed over that, with that it was driving him mad. And this is the key, because that study that I'm mentioning, it was, I believe, a 13-year study on the effects of repetition of trauma, the anxiety associated with that. And they found that after 10 years of someone constantly repeating this anxiety and trauma, that it results in delusion. The brain becomes delusional when it comes to that anxiety, the source of it, that trauma. And I saw that. I saw that happen to him. In fact, just a few days before he killed himself, he was visiting at my house at that time, as my other good friend was visiting with me, and the three of us were playing pool on my pool table in that house. And he could not stop. He was obsessed over a certain aspect of this, of the life that he should have had and all the rest of that. And keep in mind that this was "25 years after we made that record." 25 years had passed, and he was still just obsessed with it. So is it any wonder that he was delusional about it if that study showed that it only takes 10 years to develop delusion? Well, what about after 25 years? And the sad part is, many of my musician friends have similar experiences, some from the same source as the one that was troubling Massimo. Hi, guys. But thankfully, it's not as extreme, as severe for them as it was for him. But nevertheless, having anything that keeps playing in your head and keeps bothering you and keeps giving you feelings of whatever it is, I don't think it has to be full-on anxiety. I think it's anything that's bothering you at all is going to cause this. And I think that's why society has gone insane. Because this is what's happening to everyone now, especially with anti-social media, where people are constantly doom scrolling through all this nonsense, and they're jealous of all of the fake postings from all the other people who are pretending that they're living some incredible, perfect fantasy life. It's causing all of this to everyone else. And to themselves, by the way, because they're living with the lie. They're perpetuating a lie, and they know it, but they keep doing it anyways, because I guess they figure if they can convince enough people, they'll convince themselves too. Sorry, folks, it doesn't work that way. Anyways. And unfortunately, that happened to Massimo. He had a YouTube channel back around, I think he started it in maybe 2007, I think. And it may have still been going till the day he died in 2012. And he was putting out some videos presenting himself in a very different light than the one that those of us who were closest to him actually experienced. Wasn't the same guy. And I'm not saying that to criticize him, far from it. He was a pioneer, I suppose, an early adopter in something that is now ubiquitous. Let's face it, pretty much everyone now on anti-social media. Who isn't on anti-social media? I'm not, unless you count this stupid channel. I'm not on Blank Book or X or any of the other nonsense. No thanks. I made a music video about that. Check it out. In fact, it's quite relevant to this, especially where Massimo is concerned. So, the point is, these things are harmful. I saw what happened to Massimo. He's gone. I miss him. He should be here. We should be working on Zulu Matrix together. Now there is a partnership. That was 50-50. And now I have to do it all by myself. I'm channeling him. Luckily, we worked together for so long, going all the way back to high school. He was in my band. So our connection is still there. I still feel him. And so I feel him with me when I'm working on Zulu Matrix now. I'm not alone. But he should be here for real. Not just my memory of him. Not just his presence in my soul, if you will. And I want everyone possible to heal from that. You can do it. I did it. And I'm just some guy who lives alone in the forest. Life brought me here, and it couldn't be better. This is where I belong. At peace, waiting for chestnuts to fall. And that is what this is like a blunted version of meditation. And it's there for everyone. Meditation is difficult until you get the knack. And then it becomes easy. It goes from almost impossible to easy. But it's a long journey to get there. And anyone who tells you they have a shortcut is a liar, who's probably never actually meditated in their life. But you don't have to be a meditation master. You just have to be able to immerse yourself in something, anything, where you lose yourself. And this is the real issue for almost everyone today. I'm so lucky that my path through life brought me to independence. My time is my own. So I can spend a month sitting under the Miracle Sisters chestnut tree, waiting for nuts to fall. And if I'm really lucky, I might get 6 viable chestnuts after sitting under this tree for a month. But what a beautiful feeling. I just realized I must have got that mosquito because it's gone now. And so it's just beautiful. Just beautiful. There's nothing here but beauty. And it's the perfect way to release anything that's bothering you. But you can't do it if you're immersed in toxicity. And doom scrolling is about as toxic as it gets. Anything that gives you a jolt is toxic. To your psyche, to your neurological health. You need to be able to rest your ever anxious, ever jittery, always on the lookout. That's the way the brain is wired. That's what made us survive as a species. To be always vigilant, to be always on the lookout, to react. There's the word, react. To be at peace is the antithesis of being reactionary. To let go. There's a chestnut just fell. Did you see that? Unfortunately, it's another sterile husk. I can tell from here because of its size. It's too small. But I'm always excited every time it happens because eventually a viable one will fall. So, that's a good reaction that you just witnessed there. Look at this smile. It's because that fell. Oh, what a feeling. I'm filled with joy now. Even though it's sterile, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's beautiful. And you got to experience it with me. A rare event. A chestnut falling. It doesn't matter. Viable, sterile makes no difference because eventually a viable one will fall. And nothing, and I mean nothing, is bothering me. Nothing at all. Oh, life is so beautiful. To just breathe quietly. And there's something I haven't touched on this channel ever, is forest bathing. I'll have to do another video about that. Look it up. Look it up and learn about it. Because that's what I'm doing right now. The air is alive. It's filling me with life. It's so beautiful. It's unbelievable. And it's waiting for you. There you go. That's what I should have said on the main channel video that this is part 2 of. I should have told them to go forest bathing. I wish Massimo knew about forest bathing. Well, I'm going to let you go now, and I'm going to keep waiting for another chestnut to fall. And I'm going to love every second of the gift of life. Be well.